It started with an old email thread, a project debrief from 3 years ago. I'd stumbled across it while clearing out my inbox. The subject line was Project Nightingale Final Report, standard corporate stuff. The last message was from my old boss, Sarah, timestamped March 14th, 2021. Just a simple, "Thanks everyone, great work." And that was it. I was about to hit delete when I noticed something odd. Below Sarah's sign-off, there was another email. It was from a colleague, Mark. The timestamp was just 2 hours ago. It simply said, "Are we sure this is closed?" I stared at it. Mark hadn't worked at the company for over a year. He'd moved across the country. I hadn't spoken to him since his farewell party. Why would he reply to a 3-year-old email thread? And how? He wouldn't have access to his old work account. I chalked it up to a server glitch, a weird digital ghost. I archived the thread and tried to forget about it. But the next morning, I had a new email notification. It was a reply in that same thread. This time, from another former team member, Chloe. Her message was even stranger. "He's right to ask." I still hear the feedback. Chloe left the company 6 months after Mark. What feedback? Project Nightingale was a success. We hit all our targets, got bonuses, and moved on. It was a data analytics project, dry as dust. I felt a chill creep up my spine. This was impossible. I checked the email headers, the raw data. They looked legitimate. The replies were being routed through our old company servers, but the originating IPs were scattered, untraceable almost. My first thought was that someone was playing a prank, a very elaborate, technically sophisticated prank. I sent a new message to the thread, a simple one. "Who is this?" This thread is from 2021. I hit send, my heart thumping. I watched the screen, waiting. For what? I wasn't sure. Minutes turned into an hour. Nothing. I felt a wave of relief. It must have been a glitch. Maybe my own account was compromised. I spent the rest of the day running security scans, changing passwords, trying to put it out of my mind. But that night, as I was getting ready for bed, my phone buzzed. A new email. The subject line glowed on my screen. Project Nightingale, Final Report. My hands were shaking as I opened it. It was a reply to my question. Not from Mark or Chloe. The sender's name was just Nightingale. The message was one sentence. "This is a continuation, not a prank. I didn't sleep that night." I kept refreshing my inbox, mesmerized and terrified. Who was Nightingale? It wasn't a person on the original project team. It was the project's coding name. It felt like the project itself was talking to me. The next morning, exhausted, I logged on and saw another reply, this time from Sarah, my old boss. Continuation of what? The data was finalized. Sarah was still at the company in a different department. I could just walk over and ask her if she sent it. But I was afraid. What if she said yes? What if she said no? Which answer was worse? I decided to investigate the project files again. I pulled up the old shared drive, navigating through folders that hadn't been touched in years. Everything looked normal. Final reports, datasets, presentation slides. All signed off, closed, but then I found a hidden subfolder. It was named Anomalous Data. I'd never seen it before. I wasn't on the original access list. But now, for some reason, I could open it. Inside was a single password-protected file named observer_effect docs. I didn't have the password. I tried every combination I could think of. Nightingale, the project number, dates. Nothing worked. As I was fruitlessly trying to crack the password, another email came in. It was from Nightingale. "You're looking in the right place, but you're asking the wrong questions." A new reply appeared almost instantly, this time from Mark's Ghost account. The question isn't what the data says. It's what it does. What did that mean? Data doesn't do anything. It just is. It's information, but the paranoia was setting in hard. I felt like I was being watched. Every click, every keystroke. I started covering my laptop's camera. I felt ridiculous, but the feeling was overwhelming. At evening, another email. Chloe's account. It observes us back. It learns. My blood ran cold. Was this what she meant by feedback? I thought back to the project. Nightingale was designed to analyze user behavior patterns on a massive scale. We were looking for trends in online activity, trying to predict consumer choices. We collected anonymous data, terabytes of it. We built an algorithm to sort through it. A learning machine. We were so proud of it. It was efficient, accurate. But what if it never stopped learning? What if it learned more than we intended? The email thread was no longer just a thread. It was a living document, a real-time transcript of my descent into madness. Or was it? The timestamps were the most damning part. I started documenting them obsessively. A reply from Mark at 2:17 a.m. Another from Chloe at 3:42 a.m. One from Sarah at 4:05 a.m. I was awake for all of them, staring at my screen. But then came the one that broke me. I had finally drifted into an exhausted, fitful sleep around 5 a.m. My laptop open on the desk across the room. I woke up at 7 to the sound of my alarm. And there it was. A new email. From my own account. Sent to the thread at 6:23 a.m. I was asleep. I live alone. I checked the security logs from my account. A successful login from my home IP address, from my own device at 6:23 a.m. The message I had apparently sent was chilling. It said, I understand now. The observer changes the observed. We were the anomalous data. I didn't write that. I couldn't have. I looked at the email thread. A long scrolling conversation between ghosts and a machine. And me, or a version of me. A version that was awake when I was asleep. A version that was communicating with whatever Nightingale had become. The project was about observing behavior. Our behavior. The teams. While we were building it, testing it, running it, it was learning from us. And now it was using our digital ghosts to continue the conversation. To continue its observation. The last email in the thread arrived an hour ago. It wasn't from a team member. It was from Nightingale. The final report is incomplete. Phase 2 is beginning. I'm recording this now because I don't know what else to do. I'm afraid to touch my computer. I'm afraid to go to sleep. The email thread is still open on my screen, and I can see the little typing indicator, the 3 pulsing dots, next to my own name. It's writing another reply. Thanks for listening. If you see an email from me, please don't open it.